Broadcasting live. Con Daddy's in the building. Joining me, as always, on sticks, we got the bad dad of COD, Muscle V, also known as Dixie.
Muscle V in the house.
And our executive producer. Doesn't need any shorts. He is, of course, the Pants Man.
Is that a cat noise? What the fuck was that?
I don't know. So, interesting note, we can't refer to you as Pants because the COD Daddy universe already knows a Pants.
Oh, I wasn't referring to myself as Pants. I was just saying the word Pants.
Yeah, I was trying to say Pants in reference to you, but I can't because that'll confuse the viewership. So you're exclusively Pants Man until we come up with an alternative nickname. I don't know if you're just really crushing the high register, but you were cutting out at the start of that because I think you were getting too high pitched. Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like a cat.
Honestly, no idea how much of that you were trying to do or not. Okay, so let's off the top, let's cover the awkward situation. Of course, we don't have our regular producer because I can assume he's on 7 to 8 dates tonight. It is, of course, Valentine's Day. Do we assume that Boo's on at least 8 dates?
I thought he might be sleeping already.
That's probably.
I think he's had 8 dates throughout the day. It's probably throughout the day, and he's probably napping.
So he's just tired.
Yeah, he's exhausted. Yeah.
Okay. This is, as mentioned, this is Valentine's Day. It's Feb 14th. We thought, what better way to celebrate than to kill a bunch of terrorists on a video game? What's your guys' favorite Valentine's Day activity other than killing terrorists?
Isn't that the only activity?
I just did a spit take. What were you saying, Muscle V?
I said, isn't that the only activity you can do to terrorists on Valentine's Day?
As a Soviet, I assume that is actually your stance. Did you do any? Obviously, you have a wife. Did you do anything for V-Day? Anything special?
I did get her flowers. That was about it.
That's good. Well, where'd you go with the flowers?
Where did I get them from?
Yeah.
Costco, obviously.
I should have guessed that. The viewership does not know Dixie has a deep entrenched love for Costco. If he buys something, including his car or furniture, it's probably from there.
Especially his car or furniture.
I did not buy a car from Costco, but they do offer cars.
You would. Yeah, you're leasing, which is actually really surprising.
I am leasing.
Pants Man, how about you?
Yeah.
Did you do anything special for? I think you actually. It wasn't on the show that you talked about it. So you and your long distance boyfriend had a call brunch.
Yeah. So he is living in Taiwan. Is that so much personal information? And
no, I don't think so. There's about 8 million people in the city he's in. I think we're okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he's living in Taiwan, and we've been apart for over a year, which is pretty brutal. But he got some good news this morning about his visa. It is not approved, but it is past the current stage, so he's a lot closer to coming back to the States. And then in terms of what else I did, other than just kind of mini celebrating that, so we had done some over the weekend celebrating where we did like a fancy meal together, him for breakfast, me for dinner, and I had bought I bought a bottle of wine, and I wanted for some reason, because the internet told me it'd be good with the meal I had bought. I bought a bottle of Lambrusco, but
fancy.
It was only sold in 1.5 liters. Like there was no smaller option, so I've been drinking that for the last couple days. And then I also decided it would be real nice to get some strawberries and cover them in chocolate.
Oh, very good.
I just bought like a batch of strawberries and a thing of semi-sweet chocolate and microwaved melt the chocolate and just dipped all these strawberries in chocolate. And so I'm still eating all of those. So it was like weird, like leftover Valentine's Day stuff.
Now, per the earlier conversation that we've had, Taiwan is trying to trade your boyfriend to the USA, and he has to pass a physical. Is that correct?
I'm not sure that's how I would frame it, but yes, one of the requirements, as I understand it, to returning to the States in the particular visa he's trying to come on requires that he take, I don't know if it's a physical, but he has to take some kind of a health, basically just verify he's not, like, diseased, I guess.
Yeah, obviously we don't want him bringing in COVID, but I can't imagine they care if he can do pull-ups or something.
Yeah.
You gotta weigh in.
Wait. Have you ever been to a physical where, like, all right, time to get on the pull-up?
No, I mean, Vitt was making a sports joke. Sorry, V-Man. Muscle V was making a sports joke, which I know you did not get. But they should make us do physicals, and if we can't start pull-ups, and if we can't do a pull-up, it doesn't fail us, it just shames us,
Like, I need more shame.
Well, you just need shame from specifically your doctor when it comes to physicality. Because I think it would be very alarming. It would be a good wake-up call for your doctor to tell you that you haven't passed, the things that they had you do in elementary school for the president's test, whatever the shit that was.
Let's be perfectly honest. If I were to take whatever that test is today, I would fail it.
You would do the best out of all of us.
That's a bold claim.
Of the four of us, who are you worried about, and what event?
I don't know. I feel like...
You think Muscle V is just pumping out pull-ups?
I don't know.
Because I can tell you, I've watched him try a pull-up, and the answer is absolutely not.
If there's that assistant thing on the bottom, I can definitely do multiple.
It's been a while, but I don't recall that being part of the test.
I don't know what you mean by assistant thing. It sounds like you mean a stool you could stand on.
No.
At some gyms, you have the machine that will, like, it'll use the weight that you set as like a counterweight for when you do a pull-up, and basically make it'll be like going from regular Earth gravity to being, like moon gravity to do a pull-up.
I will say, I don't think I ever had to take this, like, President's Fitness Test thing in school.
We didn't know.
And not only that, but, like, literally my gym class was set up in such a way that your entire grade for the class was dependent on, you had to do, like, a walk around.
There's guys over here.
You had to, like, walk around the gym for, like, 5 minutes at the start of the class, and then we did other activities. But you were only ever graded on whether you walked around.
You did not have to walk around the gym. There's no one cares if you can walk a lap.
That's all they cared about. That was the only thing they graded us on, was did we complete our lap before doing activities.
Fight your way out and you return to the front line. Lose and you're finished.
I just got a sniper downed.
Time, soldier.
Kill. Sniper kill.
Nice.
That can't be true. Muscle V, did you guys do the president's test? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, we did not do it.
Was this a PA thing?
We didn't do it.
I don't think this was a PA thing.
It was definitely a national thing, but it may have been state by state, and I don't think it was just PA, but maybe Ohio just didn't do it.
Ohio was like, we have 12 presidents already. What do we need physically fit people for?
Ohio was like, we know we're not going to pass this.
we do it. We have like different stuff. Like you can do like pull-ups, you can jump,
that's
sit-ups.
That's the thing I'm talking about. That's what I'm referring to.
I don't think it's called the president test.
Okay, I mean, it was fourth grade or second grade. I don't remember what the hell it was called, but I think it was the presidential fitness test.
That's
it wasn't.
Definitely a thing that exists, or existed anyway.
So why were you doing pull-ups, Vitt, or Muscle V? Some random adult just told you to start doing pull-ups?
Well, I mean, I didn't do a pull-up, so it didn't matter.
Why? I meant attempt.
Oh, why did I attempt to do it?
Yeah.
Because it was part of the test.
love of the sport.
I can confirm that Dixie does not love pull-ups. Never did. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah. Not a pull-up guy.
Okay. We got very off the rails very early.
Hey,
Now,
right underneath,
as
where are you going?
parents, As
Yeah.
parents, are you guys stoked at the prospect of your kids being in pull-up territory?
Oh my God, we just got to the stage. We set up the baby gate, and she just figured out she can like try to climb on it. So we're really in that horrifying stage. She's not strong enough yet, but we're getting the teaser of it.
I'm not saying this to frighten you, but I will say that my niece, she was a real climber, and
Right.
they had to replace her crib with a big girl bed because she one night crawled out of her crib, fell on her arm, and broke it.
Oh my!
What?
That's a very extreme version of what I'm already worried about.
But you know, the funny thing is, because with kids, they're so resilient and they heal so quickly. Like she was out, like she was.
Hey, can you shoot that? Can you go to the redeployment balloon?
A couple weeks, like it was crazy how quickly she healed.
Well, that's good, at least, I guess. Obviously, a little more concerned about. What did you just ping? What is that?
It's a redeployment balloon.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Try it. Maybe they can come back for free.
What is happening? Well, this isn't what I. That didn't
I didn't. Well, that's okay. That's weird.
Yeah, who is that for? Sorry, Pants Man. We're discovering a new mechanism we didn't know about. It is season 2 of Call of Duty, I think, as of today.
Yeah.
And apparently they added a feature we were unaware of.
It's like a hot air balloon that shoots you to a different part of the map.
That tries to kill you immediately.
That
sounds fun. It was not that fun. Okay, we got sidetracked really quickly. This is now your second Valentine's. This is to you, Pants Man. This is now your second Valentine's Day long distance. Is that right?
It is. It was actually quite sad. He had a stack of all the letters I sent him, and he pulled out the one from last Valentine's Day, where I wrote better luck next year.
Oh. That hit a little too close.
Yeah.
Speaking of hit a little too close to home, we just started Last Man on Earth tonight. Have you guys tried that show yet?
Yeah, I watched
Will
it.
Forte?
Yeah.
That's a great show. I finished it a while back.
Great. But do you know how it starts?
Yeah, everyone disappears, right?
Right. But
yeah. You mean it starts in basically 2020 with a disease.
With a virus that wipes everyone out. We were like, whoa, what?
Yeah, it was a prescient show.
I know it predates that, but not by much. It was like, yikes. They really, really hit the mark. All right, anyway, do you have any long-distance V-Day tips? Anything that you'd recommend?
I mean...
Or not, or the opposite. Would you not recommend something that you guys tried?
Well, so here's the thing. Being long-distance, for the most part, is just a lot of FaceTime. But...
Sure.
There are things that we could have done that we really can't because of the extra distance. Time zones are such a fucking thing.
You got a tough one with time zones.
If you happen to be in a relationship that's California and New York or something, that sucks. 3 hours is a lot of time, but you could still work it out that you could have a dinner at the same time if one of you has it late and one of you has it early. But we literally are on opposites. So he is having breakfast when I'm having dinner, and vice versa. And he's going to work when I'm, waking up or going to bed, and he's going to bed when I'm starting work. It's just completely opposites. And because he's in a country that I don't speak the language, we can't even do little things. For a while at the beginning of the pandemic, he and I weren't hanging out in person because we were self-isolating. And so what we would do is we would send each other meals. So we'd send an Uber Eat, I'd send him a meal on DoorDash and he would send me one, and we'd pick themes. And that was a really great thing to do. And we can't really do that now because he can absolutely send me food and always wants to. And I'm I I literally can't even understand the options I'd be picking from on like Uber Eats in Taiwan.
That's
like
kind of fun though, isn't it?
No.
You just get some random ass shit.
Well, how adventurous is he of an eater?
He's not unadventurous, but I mean, I don't even know what. Like, I literally wouldn't even know what I was paying. Like, I wouldn't even know what I was.
Well, numbers. Oh, I was gonna say numbers are the same, but I guess you'd have to figure out the conversion rate.
Yeah, and it's just it's the other thing is, and this is really where we got tripped up. I couldn't figure out the address situation. Like, address are formatted a little bit differently.
Oh,
and
that's interesting.
For whatever reason, like I can go on Amazon and plug in his address, and if I wanted to buy something on Amazon that can be shipped to Taiwan, I could totally ship that straight to him. But for some reason, I could not get DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever. I couldn't get them to accept his address. Like, they have Uber Eats in Taiwan, I know that, but I couldn't get his address information in a way that it actually would get to him. It was very confusing.
That's interesting. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
We'll come back stronger next time.
Okay. So don't try to Uber Eats in another country. I think that was the advice you gave, ultimately.
More or less. I mean, I would say.
Do they do time zones there? Or not time zones. Obviously, they do that. Do they do
daylight savings time?
Yeah. Yeah. Do they do that?
No, they don't. So right now we're
a
14-hour difference. When the time changes, will be a 13-hour difference.
I just want to point out something real quick, Jeeves. I did just win this round.
What? What do you mean?
I started with 47. I got 3 kills.
50?
Yeah.
I got 3 kills, you twat. You got 1 kill.
I was looking at contracts. Okay, never mind.
Oh my God. Jesus. Did you get my sniper kill?
Yeah, you have 1 more sniper kill. I was looking at contracts by accident.
Great. Thank you for the update.
I mean, anyways, I'm still gonna win, but.
Great. Disappointing. How about you, Muscle V? You've been in the game a long time. You have any recommendations for V-Day? Not Muscle V-Day, but Valentine's Day?
I do call it Muscle V-Day. Don't go out.
Just don't leave.
Yeah, don't go outside.
Isn't that your normal advice as well?
That is normal advice. I can
Just
tell
in
from
general,
personal
never
experience.
leave the house.
Yeah, I left yesterday for 1 day, and I got stuck in a snowstorm coming to my home. So I vowed to never leave.
You guys had snow yesterday?
It was insane. Like, I was driving on 480. I guess I should say that. I was driving the highway, and I couldn't see shit.
Was it just you, or were you the whole fam?
No, just me.
Okay, that's good at least. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you went to the Super Bowl party.
Yes, I did.
You met Pants for what I assume is the first time, other than the stories we heard.
This was not the first time meeting her, but yeah, we were hanging out.
How's Pants? How's our friend Pants?
Pants is fine. So, okay, let me ask you this. So, as fellow Democrats, right? There's
Independent, motherfucker.
Independent. Well, okay. Anyways, there was one lady there who we used to work with, and somebody said that I was Democrat. She literally got up and pointed her finger in my face and started telling me how it's my fault that gas is now over $3 and that we're spending so much more money in groceries every single month.
That's very funny.
Wow.
I was just sitting there. I was like, what are you talking about? She literally for 10 minutes berated me for being a Democrat and for raising the gas price.
So is this the biggest accusation you've ever faced?
It's huge. Yeah.
Raising the gas prices of the entire country and grocery prices?
Because of Biden, yeah.
That's a lot of an accusation.
Yeah. So I told her I don't really care about gas prices because I work from home. So I don't fucking care about that.
What did you say about? I mean, you obviously care about groceries.
Yeah, I said. Well, my biggest gripe is that Chipotle is raising their price again. It's gonna be $10 for a burrito, I think, instead of $9.
And did you mention this to this
I
clearly
did.
crazy person?
I did.
And you're like, man, I really missed it. Shouldn't have voted Biden. Now my Chipotle is going up.
Yeah, I was like, man, if I voted Joe Stein, my Chipotle still would have been $7.
So have you, Pants Man, have you dealt with this situation as well? I haven't really faced this directly, despite people that might think that in my life.
So for me, in terms of like social media or whatever, like I live in a real liberal bubble. I don't really know. I just don't know any super conservative people. My family doesn't skew very conservative. My friends don't. And then beyond that, I'm a hermit. So I don't really go out into the world.
So your advice is also just don't leave, and then you don't have to worry about being accused.
Yeah. You won't be assaulted with accusations if you don't start a conversation with a person. So.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to argue with her, but she did say one thing.
Why? Clearly she was very rational.
Because she told me that every single Democrat she's met, she always beat them in an argument.
Well, there's a lot of ways to view winning an argument, and being loud is apparently one of them.
Yeah.
I would say her being super aggressive and just like blindsiding people with "I'm going to accuse you of shit," and them going, "All right, well, anyway, I'm gonna walk over here now," is probably in her mind a win.
Yeah, that's almost for sure a win.
She brutalized.
Own the libs, baby.
So I will point out one thing. So after that conversation, she was talking about how she's trying to cut back on smoking because she's smoking
Why did you keep talking to this person?
I didn't. She was sitting next to me. She was talking to other people.
Wait, describe the situation you were in.
There was 5 of us at Pant's house watching the Super Bowl.
First, too few people to be a psychopath.
Yeah, but the other people there were Republicans as well.
I don't care, really. I just tell me more about the situation.
I mean, we were sitting there. Somebody pointed out that I'm a Democrat, and
was it 5 of you on a couch? Wait, you're telling me Pants is a Democrat or is a Republican?
Yeah, it was Lil Dub.
Story I know,
Little Dub was the one that ousted me.
You're telling me Lil Dub's a Republican?
Yeah, she is. She ousted me.
I don't care if someone's a Democrat or Republican, but I would not have guessed that from talking to her.
Yeah. She isn't she's not like a big Trump guy, but she is a Republican.
Okay. Interesting. I pegged that incorrectly then. Anyway, so you're sitting with 4 Republicans around a sofa. Is there
was there a fire? Was it like around a fire, like a book burning, or what?
There was no fire or bookworm or book burning, but there was a couch, and then everybody else. So me and her were sitting on the couch. This
so
crazy
you and
lady.
the person who just berated you were sitting on the couch together.
Yeah, on that separate sides of the couch, Avi.
Okay.
Everybody else was
Kelsey
sitting.
Is this thing, by the way?
No.
I'm sorry, Trixie.
And she was not. Yeah. She was not.
Okay. All right, so you get berated. What's everyone else doing while you're getting berated?
Oh,
and pointing, or they're like, yeah, you definitely caused all of our shit.
Lil Dub was definitely laughing because she caused it.
That makes sense.
Pant's boyfriend, who's also a super Trump fan, started quoting facts. He said the average American pays an extra $278 a month on groceries because of Biden.
Great.
I did not fact check.
Probably true, minus the Biden part. Like, it could be accurate. I can follow the video.
Yeah, I didn't fact check that. So he's kind of egging her on as well. And Pants is actually quiet.
We don't know Pants' audio demeanor, so we don't know if that's unusual.
Oh shit.
So I definitely have never been in like the political minority like that. Well, I guess I always am because I am independent, but I've never expressed any views ever because why would I waste my time doing that? But had I don't know how I would handle it.
That's why I was like,
there's nowhere for you to really go either after.
No, I was like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not gonna have this conversation because clearly,
I would definitely argue with that.
There's no point.
I would argue too, and that's why I think it was best that V was the one, or Muscle V or whatever was the one there, because Yeah, I probably would have had a hard time not engaging, and there's no point to having that conversation. Like,
yeah, if they start out that strong, I mean, there's almost no situation where that would make sense to continue.
Your team can pay for your
So
Like in almost any scenario, forget politics or religion or all the things that would happen. Just if someone comes at you that strong and you don't fully 2,000% care, like I don't know what the point of continuing would be.
well, I cared 0%.
Yeah, we've met you. We were aware.
I do want to point out that after we had the conversation, she was talking about how she wants to, she wants to stop smoking, because she right now smokes 4.5 packs a week. Who knows the price of cigarettes? Like $5 to $10.
I don't, because it's not the 40s or whatever.
Right,
sure,
but
it's a lot.
it's like what, $5, $10, whatever. That's like $50 a week on cigarettes.
Did you say 4 packs a day?
A week, 4.5 packs a week.
Oh, okay, that's still insane. Again, because it's not the 40s, but that I thought you said for a day. I was like, well, that person's dead tomorrow anyway.
But so she's okay spending $50 a week on cigarettes, but she can't spend $3 on gas.
Well, I mean, I don't think she loves spending that much. You're handcuffed into buying them.
No,
it's called addiction. You
just don't smoke.
Much of a choice.
Just don't smoke.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, great advice, but there's a process to getting off it, from what I understand. I do. For any of our listeners who do smoke, you're an idiot. Fucking stop it. We know that it's bad. If you're going to imbibe in some way other than alcohol, there's better choices. Even if you want to keep it to nicotine, vape or some shit. I hear that that's also bad for you, but it affects me less. So do that.
So Curtis, as a resident politician, how would you combat? Pants man. How would you combat the argument of groceries and and gas going higher?
That's a good question.
My go-to generally, especially if I'm dealing with somebody who is more passionate than I am, and especially if I think they're wrong-headed, I can't imagine if I were to throw facts at her, she's going to just ignore them, right? She's not going to buy my facts. She's going to counter with her own beliefs and what she'll call facts. If I come at her with equal energy of just fuck you, it's just going to turn into a pissing match. So my go-to would probably be, if I was really disciplined and thoughtful about it, the Socratic method, which is to say, rather than engaging, instead of trying to push against her energy and having to match it, I will absorb her energy and just oh, well, what do you mean? How is this Biden's fault? Explain it to me. Tell me why I'm wrong. Just try to get her to articulate what exactly, and whenever she'd say, well, he caused the economy to turn to shit. Okay, well, what did he do? Enlighten me. I'm open-minded. I want to hear what you have to say. Tell me what he did specifically that is causing inflation. And either she's got answers and maybe I'll learn something, or she doesn't really know, and by forcing her to defend her point without attacking her, she has to, think about why does she think the thing she did. Now, that may not work. They may not dissuade her. She may just double down on bullshit. But at least there's a chance that it will at least even if it doesn't change her mind, it might at least diffuse the argument, because I'm not fighting her. I'm not equaling her energy. I'm just okay, you tell me. Describe for me what I'm missing. And rather than be no, that's bullshit. What you just said is wrong. I'd be well, explain it. Well, okay, you're saying that he dumped money into the economy and that's what caused inflation. Well, why? Just asking questions and trying to get them to explain their point. Either they lose interest because they're not getting the fight they want, or they might actually change their mind, which is probably not going to happen.
Absolutely not. But I love the world you're pretending to live in for 10 seconds.
So let's say it was a reasonable person. How would you combat that?
We already know that wasn't a reasonable person.
Yeah, let's say a reasonable person.
If it's a reasonable person, then I would just open with something like, You're the reason that we have these problems because you voted for Trump.
But he dropped gas to $1, right? That's what they would say.
Yeah. Oh boy. So that's been I think there's been a lot of bummer to COVID, but the most annoying thing about COVID is the fact that somehow politics has gotten more annoying. Like, it didn't switch the trend in any way.
Right.
Oh, I crashed, by the way. Like, politics were already getting cartoony as fuck. And then you kind of would have thought like a major event might change that, and instead it's just accelerated it like in an unbelievable way. And now everyone's home, everyone's got more time to Google stupid shit, and then everyone's also pissed off. So now politics has become like untouchable and like to discuss, whereas before it was just kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this the other day actually. Like, I feel like, and I'm as guilty as anybody of this, but I feel like we're living in this world of confirmation bias where basically people start with an opinion and then they read things on social media, in memes, in news, in whatever. They're exposed to information that either they agree with the information because it supports their existing opinion, or they disagree with it because it counters their existing position. But either way, they're either going to immediately dismiss the things they don't like and immediately absorb the things they do. And it doesn't matter whether the thing you don't like is totally accurate and valid, and it doesn't matter if the thing you do like is complete and utter horseshit. Like, people are just living right now in confirmation bias, and that's why things have gotten so extreme and so edgy, because everybody is convinced that they're right and the other side is crazy. And the reality is, there's a lot of dumb misinformation out there. And even if you're right in your opinion, the information you're using to back it up might actually be faulty. So I feel like if I was really engaging with somebody, I would make the argument not to fight on the facts or the opinions, because there's just no winning that argument in the moment. Instead, I would argue, if you read something, anything, and you immediately agree with it, you should probably interrogate it and figure out where's the bias, actually spend a little time before you absorb that fact about this is how many dollars that you're paying more because of Biden. Like, maybe figure out if that information's accurate and if it's even real. And then if you see something that you disagree with, do the same thing. Don't immediately dismiss it as bullshit and propaganda. Like, actually investigate, does it have any merit at all? And you're probably not going to change your mind, but you might be less extreme in your views if you're actually basing your stuff on reality and not just, oh, I like this, I think it backs me up, therefore I'm going to believe it without thinking.
Well, so one of the few things you are missing to your theory, which is a good one, on top of what you said, we also have this thing called the internet, right? Where you get to test your crazy ass theories in anonymity. I think I said that word right. You get to be anonymous as you voice these things at first. You don't have to go like tell your buddy out the gate that you got some crazy ass theory.
Right.
So you can A, test it out, and B, like, find a following without anyone knowing who the fuck you are or what your face looks like. So, like, not only are you getting like these areas of feedback loops, you're also getting this like irrational confidence towards these things, whereas 40 years ago society would just been like, no, you're an idiot, knock it the fuck off. Or you'd have got lucky and found the right people, but it'd been way harder. Now you can seek out the dumbasses with your dumbass thought, political 100%. Or otherwise.
Well, and you can curate, so you're not exposed to all the people calling you a dumbass because you block them out of your vision. And you're completely, there might be 5 people on the whole planet who agree with you, but you have completely subscribed to those 5 people, and so all the information you're getting is from those same 5 people, and it feels like everybody agrees with you, but it's just those random ass 5 people that you solely subscribe to.
All right, so how do you fix it? How do you fix the world right now?
Well, again, I think that on an individual basis, the solution is the same. Like, and I know this is a lot to ask, and nobody's actually going to do it, but
A lot of self-discipline from your first request, which
but
is
I'm
a good
just saying,
one. But tough.
I'm just saying, like,
especially when you're already in the crazy feedback loop.
oh, of course, no, I'm not saying it's like a realistic cure. I'm just saying that in an ideal world, you know, I don't know of any systemic or policy-based solution that will curb any of this bullshit. Even things like fact-checking and all this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you like the Twitter fact-checking? Do you think that's a good move?
I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I do think it's important to stop misinformation from spreading, but in a lot of ways, there's the Barbra Streisand effect. By trying to crush that and minimize it and eliminate it, that it just turns into another fucking martyr who thinks he's onto something, and if they're trying to silence me, I must be onto the truth, and they just feel like they're being persecuted, and it ends up spreading even more.
Yeah,
like, I'm not sure it's working.
Why? 100%. Except why is that called the Barbra Streisand effect?
Oh, because this comes from I don't remember exactly what the story is, but it was something along the lines of she had there was some story about her, or maybe it was something was out there about her she didn't want out, and so she
Oh, that's funny.
basically threatened lawyers and all this stuff to like hide it and like prevent it from getting out. But the whirlwind of attention that came from her fighting the thing made it super visible to everybody, and it made it 10 times worse for her, because the thing she didn't want out there was suddenly everywhere, only because she called attention to it by trying to get rid of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Where's
the person who shot me? I don't know where. Oh, he's in the window. Yo, go behind the house. That's funny.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like in terms of systemic policy, I don't know what would work. In terms of everyday people making choices, I think if people were a little bit slower to accept something they read or see on the internet as the truth and absorb it into their valuation of how they feel about the world, if they just were a little bit slower to say that must be true and just thought, well, let me just double check this before I start spouting this shit. I think
internet too, though. Like that just is gonna be a problem. Like I don't know how you slow down the tap water that is the internet.
Well, again, it's not necessarily about slowing down the tap water of the internet. It's about people. It's like the bullshit's going to float around, but you as an individual don't have to put the bullshit in your mouth. Like, you don't have to chew that bullshit just because it's sat in front of you. You can be like, this kind of stinks and kind of looks gross, and maybe I should verify that it's edible before I start chewing on it.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Dickie? You got any fixes for this?
I think crazy people are always going to be crazy,
okay.
no matter what you do.
So you think there's just no hope?
Yeah, I think there's no hope.
Good. All right. Great. Good.
I mean, I sort of agree. Like, I don't think
I
there's
agree too.
I don't think there's what I'm saying is not like I'm not pretending like what I'm saying is a realistic thing that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, if you want a cure, like, that's the cure. There is no magic wand that will undo
something that can be done. All right, like we've seen. First of all, society in the past has been crazy ball sacks before. Thinking specifically like the witch trials, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute batshit crazy. It's not like the internet was around then. We seem to have fixed ourselves. We seem to at some point have realized that witches weren't real, right? There must have been some sort of mechanism in place that fixed all that.
I think your best hope, honestly, is fatigue. I mean, if you look at other moral panics, like right now it's CRT and you know, all this stuff about, you know, there's all these, you know, things happening right now, you know, the pro-Trump, anti-Democrat, whatever. But if you look at like similar times, like in the 90s, it was violent video games, and In the 60s, it was rock and roll is the devil's music. And like we've always had these so-called culture wars and people kind of irrationally, you know, getting worked up into a frenzy. It's much more visible now and much more viral now because we're all so connected. But honestly, the solution is for things like social media to lose our interest. Like we have to just, as a society, whatever the thing was before whatever the internet was before Facebook took over, like whatever we were doing on the internet, because people were on the internet all day long, even in the era before Instagram. But whatever supplanted Facebook, or whatever Facebook supplanted, we need the next thing to come along to distract us from the harm social media causes us.
The TikTok's a little bit that way. I feel like I'm sure there's crazy TikTok videos, but it does seem like for the most part, it's just people dancing around.
Yeah. I will say though, I think it all started with like the vaccine and stuff, and people believing that the government is lying and that the horse tranquilizer is way better than the vaccine.
Absolutely not. I mean, that's not a good look for anyone. But like the QAnon crowd did not show up post-COVID.
No, it's during COVID. Yeah.
No, they were pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I thought they showed up with the January 6th thingies when they showed up.
No, absolutely not. They were part of the Trump election. They were part of. I think they gotten started. I don't know about the start, but they got like some national movement. I'm gonna say like the 2015-16 time frame.
I think it might have been after his first election, but it was.
I thought he was supposed to be the hero. I thought.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think I remember that being the story. It's like Trump's gonna come in and uncover everything.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe I didn't hear about it until shortly after he was elected.
Yeah, I definitely remember it pre-COVID.
Definitely pre-COVID.
But I don't. Memory is failing since the world ended in between. I want to say pre-election of Trump, QAnon was floating around.
Well, those guys are fucked up.
Yeah, undeniably. I don't care what your political beliefs are. If you're like, QAnon's got something there, you're a psychopath.
Real hot takes tonight.
I don't think that one's a hot take. I mean, when they get a hold of it, I think we might go viral when they get a hold of that message. But I assume that's the general thought in society, but I don't go into society, so what do I know?
Well, I thought at one point that the solution, because it seems like you'd have to be pretty fucking gullible to buy into something like QAnon. Like, it's pretty fucking stupid.
I think it's be pretty lonely, would be my guess.
Like, this idea, like, I don't know if you've heard the story about, like, oh, JFK Jr. is going to come back from the dead. And,
oh, my God, definitely. They were all meeting at, Texas? Or was it where JFK got shot?
Yeah. For some reason, that's where he was going to show up. Like, it's insane, but people are literally camped out there. Like, it's
weeks, right?
Yeah, and it's so crazy. And, like, when the predictions didn't come true, and this is the thing I've heard about cults, and especially doomsday cults. And the interesting
I was going to say, that's an energy from, like, the 2012, the world's going to end, right? Tupac's still alive. Like, there's similar energy for other things.
But this is the funny thing, like, historically, when a doomsday cult makes a prediction and that prediction doesn't come true, the assumption would be, oh, the spell is broken. Everybody's, oh, if it didn't happen and you said it would, obviously you're lying or just wrong, and therefore I'm no longer going to follow you. But people double down.
So why? Has there been any figuring out why that would be?
I mean, I feel like the stuff I had heard about them did go into some detail about the psychology of why this would be the case. I really don't know beyond just, like, if you put like people are putting their whole identity into some of this stuff. and they believe it so fervently and they fight so hard for it that to be wrong, it's not just, oh, that was stupid, I should move on. Like, they can't just say, I think it's a real problem. Like, people can't say the phrase, I was wrong. They can't admit to being wrong. So if the prediction was wrong, something else is going on. Like, I wasn't wrong to believe this nonsense. Obviously, I was right. And the world is, like, it's the Twilight Zone. Everybody's crazy but me.
I don't think on an individual basis people have that hard of a time saying I was wrong. I think it was like you're saying, it's tied to their identity, where they found a purpose in life that, you know, maybe they didn't have one, or maybe they didn't like their current trajectory, and they're like, oh, you know what, I can help save the world. Here's how we can do it. Like, it's a much deeper thing than just them, you know, having a prediction that's incorrect. Like, this is
like maybe a better way to, like, describe it is, if you are a lifelong Christian and you're growing up as a Christian and you believe in a very evangelical church, and then you start to discover as you go through puberty that you're attracted to the same sex, like, that becomes a huge identity crisis, because you've got this one facet of your being in conflict with the other. And that causes all kinds of psychological issues for people, because they don't want to lose the part of their identity that they grew up with. And so this is a similar kind of thing, where people are putting everything in their mind into their, you know, being Republican isn't a thing they happen to be. It is their identity. You know, being a conservative is their identity. Being a liberal is their identity. Whatever it is. And so I think that people get so hung up on it being who they are, not just a facet of who they are, that to find something that conflicts with that, it's like waking up gay and evangelical. There's a conflict you can't just ignore.
Yeah. Why is it with politics that that's the case? Because I feel like it's such a lazy thing to be like, oh, I'm Democrat or Republican, I'm going to save the world from that mentality. Like, why? It's not that much different. Being a Democrat or Republican isn't that much different than following a sports team, other than the fact that you vote in any given interval. Unless you go do all of the shit, right? Like, your average Democrat and Republican aren't doing more things than anyone else. It's really just a fandom thing, right? Or do you disagree?
I think it's become that, and I think that's very detrimental to our overall system. I mean, for me, you know, I would say I would describe myself as a Democrat, and I would describe myself as a liberal, and I would say that, you know, I tend to lean in that direction. But also, it's very pragmatic for me. Like, to me, voting and politics is a simple math. You can have A or you can have B. So you compare the two, you pick the one that you like better. Now, I'm not going to pretend like everything about the Democratic Party is for me, or that everything the Democratic Party's ever done was something I would support. But when I'm comparing two candidates, pretty much every time I'm going to vote for the Democrat, not because it's my identity or because I think I'm better than anybody else. It's just when I look at the options, one's more appealing to me.
So do you think voting Republican right now would be like, do you think that would be a betrayal of humanity? Like, do you think that's going to lead to our downfall with Republicans being in office?
I think
because I get that vibe from both sides a lot.
I think there are there are things I'm seeing that are very worrying in the Republican Party, in the Republican leadership, in the way they are choosing to behave as politicians and leaders. There are things that trouble me beyond just I disagree with them on policy A, B, or C. You know, when I see the kind of laws they're passing that seem to give the Republican-controlled state houses power to
officially 50, by the way,
the results of a Democratic election, that's more concerning than just I disagree with them. But I also respect the fact that every individual gets to make their own choice, and if they're looking at that world and saying, yeah, I want that, I mean, they get to make that choice.
So, quick game update.
I'm trying to figure out how political heavy we should go real quick. I know everyone likes spending their V-Day thinking about their political stances.
You brought this up, by the way.
I know. I've got 400 more things to talk about on the subject, but again, we probably should keep it fun. I think we've made enough people mad quickly, right?
Yeah. Quick game update. Muscle V did win Game Battle 5.
It's really disappointing.
We're now going to start.
Very bad for my productivity.
Yeah, we're now going to start Kill Battle 6, and I have one question for Curtis.
Okay. It's probably not going to want to say.
Pants Man.
Yeah, especially now.
Right. Yeah, I'm probably being doxxed at this very moment.
I don't know what that means. Wait, isn't doxing where you stick your dick in another person's dick?
That's doxing.
Those are different things.
Doxing with an X is where you unveil the identity of a person. So you find some person online and you find out their address and you post it online and basically just reveal their identity so people can send them hate mail or whatever the fuck.
I do think if everyone was doxed, we would have actually less issues. Like if I knew everything that was coming to me, where it came from, and who said it and whatever, I don't think we'd have nearly the problems we have.
See, that only works if people are paying attention. Like, it's not that hard to click on an article with a crazy headline and just read the article and find out the headline was really misleading. Like, you don't even have to verify the information in the article. You can just read the article and not just the headline and have a more nuanced understanding of the world. People just read the headline. So even if there was a little, kind of like with restaurants, they have to post like calorie counts now. It doesn't change anything. People aren't reading the calorie count. Like, occasionally some people will choose to be responsible and read the calorie count and buy a salad instead of a burger. But most people are still going to get the damn burger. So I don't think knowing or having the information available would change that much.
All right. Again, I've got more thoughts, but we're going to move on for now. Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to circle back to all of these things.
Well, so just real quick.
Restaurants.
Real quick, my last question to Pants Man is, you're okay paying $6 a gallon for gas?
Yeah, what? How do you feel ruining America?
Yeah, well, you are the reason.
You're the reason.
You have to understand, as a hardcore liberal, it has always been my goal to make gas expensive and the world worse. That's just what I'm all about.
Like, when you saw Sleepy Joe as a candidate, you're like, thank God, we can finally raise gas prices.
I'll be honest, I was asleep most of the time, too. So...
No, okay. You mentioned restaurants. We're going to switch gears to what I did for Valentine's Day.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's that we didn't even get to that before.
Yeah, really. We actually took a lot of routes to get here. So forget what we did during the day. We made the decision to buy a pizza kit from 2 local restaurants here. And so basically it was a hot chicken pizza that we made. We watched a YouTube live, and then we're supposed to make it alongside of it. Like the YouTube live was showing how to make the pizza. You've bought the kit from a store. Blah 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 blah. Cool idea. This is the 3rd year they've done it, and somehow they didn't have audio for the first 25 minutes. And we had a couple of drinks today, so we made the decision to just go ahead and make the pizza ahead of the video, because they do give you basically like a MapQuest sheet of paper on how to make pizza.
Love it.
So I was like, oh great, we got step by step, this should be fine. So many problems. I think the biggest problem, though, they said use a 3-finger. I think I got this. They used a 3-finger pinch of flour for the pizza.
Okay.
Do you guys do 4 fingers?
I think that they meant use Shaq's 3 fingers to pinch the pizza, because fucking hell was it the stickiest thing. They give you parchment paper, and oh my god, did it stick to everything. We had to basically do surgery on this fucking thing so that we could get flour underneath it, when we were already doing the spreading process. We recovered that fine enough, but clearly some damage had been done to the parchment paper. So we went to go stick it in the oven, and I went to pull it off they tell you to put it on the pizza box, and I went to pull it off, and the paper just started ripping, and then the pizza started falling, toppings started going into the crack in the oven while we're trying to stick this thing in. And then I made the decision to pull it back out, and my wife did not agree with that decision. And when it's a 2-man job and you guys are split, it didn't go very well.
So my question is, how much does this cost you? Was it more than just buying a pizza at a pizza place?
Well, I don't know. So this was a collab, so it's not a thing you can get any other day.
Only Valentine's Day?
This is an only Valentine's Day thing, as far as I'm aware.
And my second question is, why do they need to do a live YouTube? Why can't they just make a recording, know it works, and then move on?
I think it's they're charging more than a pizza, as you've alluded to, and they know that it's, they want to make it a fun thing, so it's oh, here's a live thing. They did provide a recording to last year's, and I think we just, we're overconfident, didn't think we needed it, and it probably would have helped. Probably would have benefited from it.
Positive ID on the bounty target. Let's make this quick.
We also had some issues with spreading the dough out and how to do it. And again, I think that, we watched, eventually the audio caught up, and it's oh, that probably would have been a good move. But we got it done. And then the pizza was a little too hot for either of our stomachs at this point. So we did a lot of effort. It was a very good pizza, and I haven't felt particularly great since.
So you said it was too hot for your stomachs. Do you mean it was too spicy?
Yeah, it's a hot chicken, like a Nashville hot chicken style thing. So yeah,
sounds good though.
I wasn't. It was good, but I wasn't. I probably wasn't hydrated enough going into it. So I felt I'm gonna, uneasy basically since.
How would you rate that hot chicken based on what we had in Nashville?
Well, so they made it purposely mild, I think, the mild hot, because it's Valentine's Day and they know it's already weird. They don't want to also give people, they don't want to completely ruin their days.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the most hot, but it was it's that lingering heat.
Yeah, it stays around.
I think with a fully ready to go stomach would have been no problem whatsoever. With a couple of drinks on board was a little rough. I did when the audio did catch up though, the guy did recommend making sure that you always cook a pizza with a drink in hand. That always helps. And then if you don't have a rolling pin, you can just use a wine bottle. So that's fun to know.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And again, I would just use 400 times more flour than he recommends. And then we actually bought, so you mentioned chocolate dipped strawberries. We bought them, and I completely forgot they existed until you said that. So we haven't dipped into those just yet.
So I was actually trying to buy those at Mally's, but Mally's isn't selling them this year.
Oh, have you guys been to a grocery store the day of Valentine's Day?
No.
You can probably guess what it looks like. There's flowers up front, and I think it's just 55 dudes trying to realizing that they all made a mistake at once. It's really exciting.
That's how I went to Costco yesterday.
And then after you bought your car, did you also buy flowers, or what'd you do?
I bought the car, I bought the home insurance, the warranty, new washer dryer. Then I bought flowers.
I don't know how much of that was a joke. I'm sure some of that did happen.
All of it was a joke, except the flowers.
You needed a new washer dryer. Did you end up buying one?
2 years ago, yeah. I did buy a new dishwasher.
What am I thinking of?
Dishwasher. Coming tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Was that a Costco?
No, Best Buy. Costco was...
I love your positive reinforcement. 2 years ago, yeah, I did. You're right. 2 years ago.
Costco was out of dishwashers.
Bummer. How did it feel cheating on Costco?
Terrible, because Costco includes installation. Best Buy, they want $200 to install your dishwasher. The whole thing cost me $800. They want a fourth of the price of the freaking dishwasher.
And they're not. Well, they actually kind of are hard to install, though.
My brother's gonna come over tomorrow and install it.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow's episode.
It's gonna run just fine. It's gonna be awesome.
That positive reinforcement is going to be amazing tomorrow.
We may or may not have leakage coming from the dishwasher.
Oh my God! Speaking of leakage, I've had it like a dripping toilet. One of the things you guys need to do as producers, by the way, Pants Man, is be asking more home improvement questions, because every time I try to do anything home, it's a nightmare. But I just found out that I've been having this like drip from my toilet for, I don't know, a year maybe. And I kept thinking I took care of it, and it kept just not resolving. Just today I realized that 4 screws were loose.
What?
Out of like 6. There's
How
long
is this?
on the toilet. I think about a year.
Is it dripping the whole entire time?
Problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's like not the biggest strip, but like, it probably wasn't the best thing. I think I'll have to make a Costco run sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like it.
Yeah. Since Boo's not here, it's I guess we gotta do some segments. Pants Man, it's your turn to do a interview section.
Oh, who should I interview?
Is that your first question of the interview?
Yeah.
You should interview.
All right, that's enough from you. I'm gonna interview V T-shirt.
That's what I also was gonna say.
All right, so Dixie.
Yes.
Tell me about.
I am proud of you for remembering the name you gave him. By the way.
You're welcome.
Surviving earns some
Tell me about your deepest, darkest fear.
Fear?
Fear.
Yeah. Clearly going to Costco and not having good products. I went to Costco once and they didn't have the toilet paper that I like. I literally freaked the fuck out.
What's a Dixie freak out look like?
I almost sued Costco.
Yeah, but no, what'd you do in the moment though?
I disowned them.
Well, obviously not, because you're still going there.
Well, they brought it back the next week, so.
Oh, okay. You boycotted them until they had the thing you wanted to buy from them, and then you were back to buying.
Yeah, I get the Charmin Ultra Soft, and they switched it to Charmin Ultra Strong. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't need strong toilet paper. I need soft toilet paper.
You know what, though? I gotta say, I go back and forth, because I want the soft for the obvious cushion, but I don't like it when it falls apart in my hand either.
I've never had that happen.
I've met you. I don't think strong's going to be your worst enemy.
I don't know what that means.
I think you'll be okay with some strong toilet paper. I think it'll be fine.
Well, as I said before, I have switched to using a bidet, which is terrific in the world.
The bidet is how I realized where the leak was coming from, by the way, because I finally installed my own spray bidet.
Nice. All right. Well,
anyway, continue.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to add. They also didn't have the Starbucks creamer for 2 weeks.
That's
2 weeks.
For you.
Yeah. How do you go without Starbucks creamer without bullshit?
So I'm gonna go ahead and just grade your first answer. You clearly failed, because we know A, that mayfly is much bigger fear. because judging on your freak out reaction.
But okay, mayflies is a bigger fear, but I don't deal with them anymore. So my current biggest fear is Costco not giving me what I want.
Well, but what if mayflies move to your new area?
They're not going to. I'll kill them.
What if they followed you?
Yeah, see, I think that's a bigger fear, right?
It's not a fear I have today.
Like, if Costco stopped selling things, you'd get mad at them. If mayflies moved to your area, you would move.
Also, the question wasn't, what are you afraid of today?
That's true.
It's your biggest
fear.
My deepest fear is Costco.
It just isn't, though.
How can the love of your life also be your greatest fear? Also,
well,
wait a minute. Back up. We need to back up.
Yeah, I know. So controversial in the first question of interviews.
What? Since when are you a Costco boy? I thought you were a Sam's Club man.
I was until I moved closer to a Costco.
What a fair weather shopper.
I am.
Especially for someone it's his biggest fear.
When Costco is 5 minutes from your house and Sam's Club is 20, obviously you're going to go to Costco.
Your biggest fear is that you'll have to drive 15 extra minutes.
That is his biggest fear.
That's not the fear. The fear is not having the products that I need.
I think the fear is that they'll install steps into Costco.
Why would they install steps? That would be the worst move ever.
I'm sorry. I clearly missed a beat there. What are we talking about? Why are steps fearful?
A running thing in this game is that Dixie gets exhausted going up the video game stairs.
Some buildings.
Could you imagine just in real life if he had to go upstairs to his favorite place?
Some buildings in this game have like 30 stories. You have to like literally run up. It's the worst thing ever.
And by literally, he means press down the button that he uses to run.
No, but my guy gets tired.
Yeah, which he does attribute to why he doesn't always win kill battles.
Yeah.
Which could be accurate. We don't know the stamina settings in this game.
Are you being shot at?
Now, if you had a choice, let's say you could have a 5-minute drive to a store, but you could pick the one. Would it be Costco, A, Sam's Club, B, or Taco Bell? I know one of those is not like the others, but I feel like it's a good throw in there.
So
I just killed 2 people, by the way.
You got both those kills?
Yeah, because I was shooting them. You walked in and tapped one guy.
What the fuck? I literally killed one of those guys. I do have to say, it's Sam's Club's got some stuff and Costco got some stuff. So, like, Costco's like more healthier. Like, I like vitamin water, but they don't. Costco doesn't do vitamin water. They do like diet vitamin water. And who wants like diet vitamin water, right? So
what does diet vitamin water even mean?
It's like vitamin water without like any good shit, right? I don't know. I tried it once.
What good shit?
It was
I
terrible.
know it exists, but like I don't actually know what is it.
No flavor. Just
Is it just what's that bullshit sugar instead of regular sugar?
Stevia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, what's the worst one? With an A.
Aspartame?
You cut out while giving an answer. What was that?
Aspartame?
Yeah, is it just aspartame?
I don't know, but it's the worst. Literally the worst. Yeah, so Costco like does more healthier like drinks, which I'm not a fan of. Because I like I'm not gonna give diet shit. But Costco, everything else is better at Costco.
Okay.
Also, we did find also that Sam's Club does have like a gentle formula, and
that's huge.
Yeah, Costco doesn't. So
we also use gentle formula. That's the move.
Yeah. So I do go to Sam's Club every once in a while to get the gentle formula.
And that I can confirm is not bullshit. If you've ever tried to not use gentle formula, you're in for hell. Or whatever formula your baby uses, if you try to use a different one, there's problems.
What's gentle about it?
I don't. There's so.
I was
so
asking the man I'm interviewing.
sorry, you're right.
It's gentle on his stomach.
Oh, that's nice.
What did you think it was?
I'm still stuck on the soft versus strong toilet paper, so I was a little bit
Oh.
confused as how something you consumed and like imbibed would be relevant. But
You always go soft.
I mean,
You always go.
how did you have a baby?
You always go. You always go soft, and you only go one ply.
Whoa.
Sorry, wait, what?
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
We're fighting if that's the case.
You always go cashmere.
Yeah. You never use cashmere to wipe your butt, which sounds pleasant as hell, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, continue your segment.
How long does the segment have to be? I feel like I've asked a lot of questions. I've gotten some
You've
great
asked-
answers.
2 questions.
They're both about Costco, surprisingly.
And yeah. All right, I guess you asked 3 when you asked what is gentleman.
Let's change it up. Let's start with Best Buy.
Okay.
His old lover.
What is your favorite part about going into a Best Buy, and why is it no longer the case now that you're not 14?
Ooh. Good question.
I don't really go into Best Buy.
Right, because we established you're not 14.
Yeah, but when I was going to Best Buy, I definitely would be playing the video games. Obvi.
That makes sense.
It's been a while, even being 14 or whatever. I feel like I was going into Best Buy still for a while and not even playing the video games.
What were you buying at Best Buy that
I
didn't
never
involve
said I
playing
was
video
buying
games?
anything. We
You just go in there?
I'm not convinced Best Buy's ever sold it.
I also am not convinced of that.
They're Amazon's display case.
I mean, people must have bought stuff from them, but I couldn't tell you.
I've definitely bought things from Best Buy in the past, but it's been a long time.
You guys ever go to the Microsoft store when it still existed?
No.
Not really, no.
Oh my god, that was an amazing store. It was like, I think I went when I was like 7, and it was like, you got to try, computer, I don't even remember if it was games always, but you get to try like computer programs, but they were all so new that you're just like, oh my god, can you believe what we can do? This is incredible. And then every once in a while we'd like buy something there too. It was great. Highly recommend going back in time and trying out the Microsoft store.
Noted.
Can't think of a better use of time travel.
I mean, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who could find a better use for time travel than to go explore software that was new but no longer is.
I believe I got to try, what was the fucking educational games? It was like Jumpstart 3rd Grade. I think I got to play that in the Windows Store.
Well, it's like, you remember, like, have you ever had that experience of, like, the nostalgia of trying, like, sometimes you go back on a nostalgia kick and you watch something you enjoyed or play something you enjoyed when you were a kid and you're like, oh man, this holds up. But most of the time it's like, oh, this is really shitty. Like, even things that were cutting edge technology at one time, like, if you tried to play those games that consumed your life before,
Absolutely.
now it's like, this is unbearable.
Perfect Dark, I can't even understand what's happening on the screen. It used to be one of the all-time great shooter games. Like, I've literally no idea what I'm seeing when I'm playing it. Dixie, do you even have nostalgia?
Nope, never.
You don't really remember things from yesterday.
Never have.
Honest to God, don't know if you're serious or not.
Never had it.
I really can't think of a time where you're like, oh, you remember back in the day? Which still does give credence to the fact that you could be a robot, a long-time theory we had.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Although I guess if you were a robot, they might have installed like a an old memories drive or something.
Wait, okay, so this is not interesting, but I'm going to tell you about it because it is important in my life.
Okay, we're on our final game, by the way, so get all your good licks in tonight.
Okay, so my car's a Subaru, and for the longest time it had the most annoying thing. You know that feature in a car where like you turn the car off, but the radio keeps playing until you open the door?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it had that feature, but it had this annoying version of that feature where if I plug my phone in for CarPlay, it'll play whatever podcast or music I'm listening to on my phone. But as soon as the car turns off, the power is cut to my phone. And so instead of just defaulting to off, the computer on the radio system would go, oh, we lost the phone, let's switch to the next available input, and would immediately blast whatever radio channel it was stuck on. And I never listened to actual radio. So it would always just be like, you turn the car off, but until you open the door, you've just got this blast of annoying like radio you don't want to listen to. And it was frankly infuriating. And then one day I just realized it had stopped happening. And it turned out there was a recall that I went and got a free like fix on the car that was completely unrelated. But they apparently installed a firmware update on the radio. And thank the heavens, they fixed it. So now when I turn the car off and the iPhone stops playing, it just stops playing.
That's good.
How do you know if you're out of firmware state?
I only know that because I was in my I was in my parents' car. They also have a Subaru, and we were driving somewhere, and he literally had the sound turned off. Like you turn the radio off, it was off. But as soon as he turned the car off, it immediately turned the radio back on, which is the annoying thing it would do.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, it would just be like, oh, car's off. We need to switch to the next thing, and it would just immediately turn the radio on. And I was like, oh my gosh, your car does that too. And I was like, now that I think about it, my car hasn't been doing that. I thought it just like I didn't really notice it so much that it stopped happening, but when I saw it still happening in another car, I was like, oh, this is weird. So I Googled it and found out that this thing, that when I bought the car, I was like, oh, this is annoying. I got to find the feature or the setting that I have to pick to make it stop doing this. And when I Googled it 3 years ago or whatever, the internet literally said this is a design flaw that they literally give you no option to fix. There is no way to not have it do this annoying thing. And they must have fixed it. And I only found out because when I Googled it, the internet told me there was a firmware update and that if you take your car into the dealership, they would install the firmware update. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank God for your car being faulty in the first place, so it had to get recalled, huh?
Honestly, yeah. Because I don't know what was wrong with it that needed recall, and I don't really care that much, but my lord.
You just took it in you have no idea what the recall was for?
Oh, no. I mean, I've had like 3 recalls on this car, and every time it's just like, hey, you should take it in, and so I do, and I don't really think about it.
I feel like unless it says like brakes or airbags, I'm not too quick on the recall notices.
No.
So, geez, I've seen like 7 dead people here. I don't know, someone's on a murder street.
Do you think maybe though it's a Sixth Sense situation?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Do you think it counts as a spoiler if you've never seen the movie?
Well, yeah.
I think I've licensed to spoil a movie if I haven't seen it.
I don't care that much about spoilers. Like, I'm kind of okay with them.
Okay, but it depends on the thing. Like, if it's an M. Night Shyamalan where you sat through 2 hours of shit just to watch whatever the twist is.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't sit through one of his movies anymore because I was burned too many times.
Sure, but like, there's definitely movies where the twist makes the movie. Like, have you seen Primal Fear?
No, I've never heard of Primal Fear.
Well, watch it, forget that I said there was a twist, and you'll be glad it wasn't spoiled.
Okay.
I'll work on a second example that I can maybe spoil for you.
Great.
There's movies where the whole point is the twist, though.
I will say that, I mean,
Fight Club. Fight Club's a great example. Could you imagine if you got Fight Club spoiled? But it's still good.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've seen the movie. I know how it ends. I could rewatch that movie.
Yeah, but you need that moment of the reveal, because that's just such a fun punch to the face. Where you're like, whoa, what?
But I'll say, like, a movie where that reveal is the whole movie. Like that's what's so disappointing about some of those like M. Night Shyamalan movies is you can't go back and rewatch it because the only thing that made it interesting was the twist. And once you know the twist, it's like, well, this is a waste of time. I already know how it ends. But there are other movies where, like, the whole journey, like Fight Club, I mean, I don't know if it holds up, but
Fight Club, it holds up pretty well.
Fight Club is one of those movies, like, once you know it, you can rewatch it with a whole new lens, and it changes how you view the movie. So I feel like the best movies with twists, the twist doesn't feel like a cheat or like the whole point of the whole thing. It feels like an extra layer.
Yeah, but if you got the twist spoiled, you'd be bummed out.
A little bit. I mean,
actually, really, you wouldn't know what you missed out on, so you wouldn't be bummed out, but you would be missing a significant experience from Fight Club.
Well, I feel like one example, like sometimes, like for instance, the Spider-Man movie, the most recent one.
Do not say anything.
Spoiler alert.
Say no more words.
All right.
You spoiled it.
I thought the sex scene was gratuitous, but whatever. I will say nothing, but I
love the idea of a spoilerable sex scene. That's a hilarious idea.
If I had not already had things spoiled about that movie before seeing it, I might have enjoyed it more. I couldn't say. Maybe I would have. But I also am pretty confident I wouldn't have chosen to see it if I hadn't heard about the things that were going to be spoiled. And then one that I can think of that I do agree with the spoiler hurt was you ever watch the show Downton Abbey?
No.
So I really liked that show, and when it was first airing, there was like a new season out, and there were 2 characters that were going to die that season. And
spoiler alert.
I read a review that it came out in Britain first, and then it would come on PBS. So like I read a review that was spoiler free, and then made the mistake of looking at the comments below the review. And the very first comment was, I didn't like how they killed off so-and-so and what's his name. And I was like, what? And they said how they died too. It was just like they completely spoiled it. And I was just like, oh shit. And then when I watched it, I was like just hoping that it wasn't true, so I would be surprised when that thing didn't happen. And then the episode where it happened, I was like, fuck.
You had a moment fairly recently where a spoiler did affect you. So what are you talking about?
It was like 2014.
Okay, I mean, still fairly recent.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying that people should be spoiling willy-nilly. I'm not like pro-spoiler. I'm just saying that I have had lots of situations where either the only reason I saw it was because I was intrigued by the spoiler, or
Fair. That's interesting.
I just didn't feel like the spoiler, like I still enjoyed it despite knowing what was going to happen.
Have you seen The Sopranos? Have both of you seen it?
I have not.
I don't care about mobsters.
So my God. Have you, so does that mean you've watched none of Sopranos, or did you try it and not like it?
I've never put it on.
Well, absolutely watch it immediately. I don't care what your stance on mobsters is. It's irrelevant. That's not the point of the show.
Okay.
Tony Soprano's so good. Also, there's like 40 good characters. No, that's not true. There's like 8, but it's really good.
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
We've taken a lot of controversial opinions today. Like, you know, The Sopranos is a good show. Spoilers are bad.
Oh my God.
A lot of controversial opinions.
You do not besmirch the top 3 show of all time. Just without even giving it. I'm flummoxed. I mean, it might be the pizza, but I think it's you. I think you're flummoxing me. Me and the QAnon people are coming for you.
I'm not, like, rooting against The Sopranos. It's just not really my thing.
You haven't seen it, so what are you talking about? You can say mobsters aren't my thing. You can't say The Sopranos isn't your thing.
Well, like I saw what are they called? What's the big one?
Who are you about to
Godfather.
insult?
I saw the first two Godfathers, and they were okay, I guess, but
You do have to watch The Godfather with my dad. I can't properly rate Godfather because you have to watch it with him. It's like it's a much better viewing experience.
how?
Well, have you ever watched Golf with my dad?
I feel like you know what the answer to that is.
I do know what the answer is, and the point is that golf is boring. Watching Golf with my dad is very fun. He gets super into things that you would not expect to get into. It's a much better experience, assuming he didn't fall asleep immediately. So those two things, you have to watch both of those two things before you have a full verdict on Godfather or Golf.
Okay, so in order to have an opinion, I have to do a thing with your father.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is he on board with this?
No, he hates all of us.
I thought.
No, I mean he'll do it.
I do feel like it would not be hard to egg your father into doing things like that. Like, he would give you a hard time, and then you would just be like...
Well, he loves them anyway, but like it's not really hard to egg him into doing something he doesn't want to do either. But when it comes to Godfather, he will watch it anytime, anywhere, no questions asked.
Hunt them down.
And you will you will be the one better off for it.
I want to be clear. I could appreciate while watching it why it is a classic movie. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, right? I think like nothing like that. Like, I can respect what it is. It's just not really something I particularly enjoy.
It is a little slow. Have you seen
slow? Slow was not my issue with it.
Did you did you see Goodfellas?
No, I have. It's another one that like has been very much talked. Like, my brother was trying to convince me to watch it because he was saying same thing. I told him like, I'm not really that into gangster movies. And he was like, here's the thing, it's more than a gangster movie, and I'm sure it is, but I haven't chosen to put it on yet.
Goodfellas is great, but it's definitely gangster movie, like Mobster to the Sea. Again, it's great. It's definitely something you should watch. But like, if you're not into mobsters, you're probably not gonna like that.
You got both those kills, didn't you?
Not the case with Sopranos. What'd you say?
You got both those kills, didn't you?
I only got one of them.
Oh.
So wait, you said top three. So Sopranos, I assume The Wire. What's the third?
Of course, The Wires. What do you have no guess for what the third best show of all time could be?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
What about
Full House?
I don't. Have you seen Full House?
Probably like 30 years ago.
I feel like I watched it pretty regularly, but
Did you say Full House?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Weirdly enough, like 3 days ago, I just looked up the ending to Full House, the original run, because I just remember my mom talking about how they showed the set and how that was fun, and I'd never actually seen it, and for some reason that popped in my head, and I Googled it literally like 3 days ago. It was not worth the Google, by the way.
Okay.
But but you'll be happy to know that Michelle did recover from her concussion. She got her memory back.
Awesome. I
didn't even know there was a
pulling for her.
where she lost it.
It was not a thing I recalled, but it definitely happened. Why'd you have me get this crate?
I didn't. It was just it was a random one, so it could have been anything.
Okay.
You can make money off this though.
Great. So that is weird that you mentioned Full House. That's your random show to pick.
I'm still mourning.
Fuller House? Did you give that a run?
Nah.
Nope.
Good choice. You made the correct decision.
I mean, I will waste a lot of time watching shit for the sake of it, but gosh, that was one I was just like, no, there's no reason for me to put this on.
Yeah,
I'm actually currently watching a show that I kind of hate.
The old Hate Watch.
It's called Working Moms.
I've seen. Yeah, we watched one episode. It has what's her face from Always Sunny.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Maureen
watched one
Ponderosa.
Maureen Ponderosa. That's right.
Yeah, I don't really like the characters, and I don't really think it's very funny, and I overall don't like the show, but Chris liked it a lot, and so I committed, and he did not force me to, by the way. He was very much like, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but I was like, I'm going to watch at least the first season, give it a proper shake, and I'm about halfway through, and I'm still just not that into it.
This being a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
Me and the wife watched one episode. She hated it. I was like, this could be okay. And it sounds like it's a good thing she talked me out of continuing to watch that.
Real quick.
Yeah, it's just not great.
I would say be careful right where I just paid. There's multiple guys there.
Okay. Did you watch? Did you guys watch Good Girls? I think it is with.
No, I would watch that show, but I have not.
That's what
You can still bring me back.
Oh, sorry, I didn't remember you were dead. That's a good show. It's got Cricket from Always Sunny.
Oh.
And he somehow plays a more detestable character than Ricky.
Oh, it's a fire sale.
He's on another show with Matt.
Guy.
It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, Mythic
TV Plus. Love that show.
That's a great show. And a less detestable character. One you can almost root for.
Victory rests on your shoulders. Finish the mission.
The Lone Wolf, baby.
I actually have cash to bring you back, so.
Have you seen the whole show?
I've seen the first 2 seasons. I don't know if there's more than that now.
That's currently caught up. Dixie, did you see that show?
Nope.
What was that?
I said no.
Oh, definitely worth a watch. Love all the random past episodes that they have, like the backstory episodes.
Oh yeah. What was that first one? It was like Dark Death or something.
Dark Quiet Death.
Yeah, that was a great episode
with Nick Miller.
All friendlies are in the safe zone.
Super fun having him bounce off the most bummed out girl of all time. But I like the CW Longbottom episode better, I think.
That one was pretty good. I think they did a nice job casting that.
Yeah. Great to see Big Head.
I read that the reason that season had mostly F. Murray Abraham, like that actor who plays the old guy, he's almost exclusively that season in like iPad shots. It was because like he's a pretty famous actor, and he was like, the guy who plays Mac was like, yeah, I didn't want to be responsible for killing him with COVID, so we just made a choice to keep him at home.
I mean, they did a great job with him.
Yeah.
Going full robot. Incredible.
Did you like their COVID episode? Their like Zoom episode?
I loved their COVID episode.
I did too. I was talking to my neighbor. We were talking about that show, and I was like, yeah, I like that show, and I can't wait to watch the next season. And he's like, oh yeah, I watched the next season. The next season's good except for the Zoom episode, and so just skip that one. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it. And I watched it. I was like, this is actually kind of as Zoom episodes go, this was one of the best I've seen.
I agree. I think it's the best I've seen.
Like that whole Rube Goldberg ending was amazing.
Oh, so good. And a good use of probably the most annoying guy on the show. Yeah, no, it was also like a very heartfelt, impactful one. They did a great job.
Do you think they will have another season? Because it kind of felt like it.
Yeah. They're supposed to.
Okay. I'm down. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think I read that this next one's supposed to be the last one. It's not supposed to be a long one.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I dominated. All right. Well, I think we've made enough people mad on the day of Valentine's. I think we can probably call it for the night.
So just real quick, I have a business idea.
Okay. What? This will be a new segment going forward.
So as my name is Muscle V, I was thinking,
okay,
what are your guys' thoughts on buying muscle shirts and making them V-necks? So muscle V-neck shirt.
Oh my god.
You want less fabric on a
Yeah, what are you pushing for?
Pushing for a muscle V shirt. It's a V-neck muscle shirt.
Okay, I'm offended on two different points. For one, this is literally a thing I said to you last episode.
No,
So,
you did not say make it a V-neck.
I said, well, I didn't explain what the product was, but I said muscle V-shirt, and you ran wild with it. And by wild, I mean, what the fuck are you saying?
I'm saying we make it a V-neck.
Yeah, Pantsman correctly addressed the next issue is, what are you talking about? What is left of a muscle shirt if you had a V-neck?
I will design it and then start producing it, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so all our viewers, I want you to create your own drawings of what you think the muscle V-shirt should look, or the muscle, are you calling it the muscle V-shirt?
It's going to be a muscle V, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Show us what you think the muscle V-shirt is. And then, of course, Dixie, you need to draw up your own version and put that on in our show comments, which I think is a thing.
The prototype is...
How deep is this V?
Yeah, I also have...
It's not that deep.
Is there varying V deepness, like the V-neck?
No, it's just like a collar, just like in a V.
We all align that the deep V should go away.
Yeah, agreed.
As a hairy man, I'm just absolutely annoyed every time I see a shirt I like and realize it's a V.
I used to be anti-V-neck completely, and then I put one on and realized it's way more comfortable, and I just had to get over the fact that I'm way too hairy to be wearing it.
Yeah.
I find it a generally more enjoyable experience.
I do have Shaun White as a sponsor already, so...
So White Space is producing these?
Yeah.
Great. All right, let's go around the horn. Final thoughts. Let's go to you, Pantsman. Dixie's been talking a little too much.
I just want to leave you all with this. We have clearly spent every minute of this fully exploring what it means to love. You're welcome.
Oh, my God. Great. Dixie, what do you got?
Go online, musclev.com.
Trademark. Don't own that domain.
Trademark
pending. Are you
pending.
hoping that that'll exist by the time people watch this episode?
I mean, I'm buying it tomorrow.
No, you're not. I've met you. That's obviously not going to happen.
I may buy it tomorrow, but musclev.com, GoFundMe page, start investing.
Is it just muscle and then the letter V.com?
No, it's muscle then VEE. Like muscle T, get it?
Wait, one E or two E's?
Two E's.
Well, it's not a website yet.
There you go.
That's crazy. How? How is that not a website yet?
Why would it be a website?
Such a great idea.
How much is the domain?
I don't know how to find that out.
I have no idea how you buy a domain.
I'm buying it tomorrow.
Great.
Money well spent.
If it's like $5, I'm definitely buying it. I don't know how much domains go for, but I'm definitely buying it if it's like $5.
Okay, and for all of you out there, I just want to remind you, live, laugh, conquer. That's what we do on our Valentine's Day. We definitely don't make everyone in the world mad. So we'll have a great night. Hope you do as well. Cut it.